They were the most ambitious submarines ever built. Monsters of steel so vast they could carry airplanes within their hulls. Japan called them the I-400 class. The Allies would later call them something else entirely. Underwater aircraft carriers. At the height of World War II, Japan's empire was collapsing. The Pacific was no longer theirs. But deep within hidden shipyards, far from American bombers, a new kind of weapon was taking shape. One that could change the course of the war with a single strike. Each I-400 submarine was longer than a football field, twice the size of any sub in the world. They could travel around the entire planet without surfacing. Inside, they carried 3 foldable attack planes, sealed in a watertight hangar, ready to launch from a catapult the moment the sub broke the surface. The mission? Strike America directly. Japan's high command dreamed of launching a surprise attack on the U.S. mainland, targets like the Panama Canal or even San Francisco. If they could destroy the canal, they could block America's fleet from reaching the Pacific. If they could strike the West Coast, they could bring the war to American soil for the first time. But these were desperate dreams, burned from a crumbling empire. By 1944, Japan had lost nearly all its carriers. Its air force was shattered. Yet the submarine program continued, driven by secrecy, obsession, and hope for one last miracle. When the first I-400 finally sailed, it was unlike anything the world had seen. It carried 150 men, massive fuel reserves, torpedoes, and even living quarters for pilots. The crew called it a floating city beneath the sea. Its aircraft, the HE-M6A Saron, was a marvel of engineering. An attack plane designed to fold its wings and tail to fit into a narrow tube, then unfold in seconds on deck, ready to fly. Each could carry a bomb strong enough to sink a battleship or devastate a harbor. In the summer of 1945, with Japan's situation hopeless, the fleet received its first and only real mission. 2 I-400s and 1 smaller sister sub would sail across the Pacific to attack the American fleet anchorage at Ulithi Atoll, home to hundreds of Allied ships. The plan was audacious. Launch the planes at dawn, strike the harbor, and vanish beneath the waves before anyone knew what hit them. The submarines set sail, but fate would not let them finish their journey. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito's voice crackled across the radio waves. Japan had surrendered. The war was over. The crews were stunned. Some wept in silence. Others refused to believe it. The great submarines that had carried Japan's final hope would never fire a shot. To prevent the technology from falling into Soviet hands, the U.S. Navy ordered them sunk. Within weeks, the once secret I-400 fleet, Japan's giants of the deep, was scuttled off the coast of Hawaii, swallowed by the sea they were meant to dominate. For decades, their story remained hidden, classified, forgotten, buried in silence, until divers rediscovered their rusted hulls lying in the darkness, still intact, still haunting. When light first touched their remains, it was as if time itself paused, revealing the shadow of a war that nearly reached the American shore. The I-400s were not just weapons, they were symbols of a nation's desperation, of genius turned to ruin, and of how far humanity will go when cornered by defeat. In the end, they never launched their planes, never fired their torpedoes, and never changed the outcome of the war. But their existence proved something extraordinary, that even in the final hours of a dying empire, Japan's engineers dreamed of the impossible. Beneath the waves, those dreams still rest, silent, enormous, and waiting.